So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Aaron Rodgers has really been living his best life. He's been, instead of being inside of a black hole, a dark hole, whatever you call it, his little trip post this past season, he's been all smiles. You've seen it on social media after he got traded to the Jets. He's been all smiles. He's been going to New York sports games. I think he was at a Knicks basketball game the other day, and
Supposed to go again tonight.
supposed to go again tonight. Okay, how did we know that? Yeah.
Um, I just found it out on Twitter. I mean, you know,
Well, he's very public, which
mm,
he was always very private. That was the thing about Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers has a little bit of friendly fire, I guess you could say, coming into the Jets. Zach Wilson made a quote back in about January or February. I'm not sure exactly when, about Aaron Rodgers coming possibly to the Jets. This was back when it was way more of a rumor than a reality. Now, of course, that's a reality. But Zach Wilson was asked about it, and he said he was going to make Aaron Rodgers' life hell. Here's how Rodgers responded to that. Quote, he's going to make my life hell in practice, and I'm going to make his life heaven off the field, Rodgers said via the New York Post. So essentially, this to me on the front, and we got another quote in a little bit, but on the front, this seems to me that Rodgers views him as nothing. He views him as not a threat. And, Zach Wilson, very nice guy. Rodgers is probably true if he comes to that conclusion. Zach Wilson was a first round pick 2 years ago, but he's already like pretty much off the face of the earth on the Jets. He was benched for third stringer Mike White last year, and it does not look promising for him there. But we got another quote, which makes you rethink that. Quote from Rodgers again, same article. I feel like part of my role here is to help him get his confidence back, Rodgers said. The team believes in him. That's one question I asked. How do you feel about Zach? Because I care about his feelings and I care about how he's viewed. And again, same still from the New York Post. So that makes it very interesting, especially the how do you feel about Zach? That was one of Rodgers' questions. He cared for him. Why does he care for Zach Wilson? Well, I think I have a hypothesis to it, and it doesn't really have much to do with Zach Wilson. Maybe they're friends. I don't doubt that.
mm,
But I think people are saying, well, Rodgers wanted to be the next Favre, right? I don't think so. Brett Favre was pissed at the Packers. Now, Aaron Rodgers has definitely had his problem with the Packers, and now it's all magically done like he loves his teammates on the Jets, which is a little interesting. But I don't think Rodgers ever had that burning hate for the Packers that Brett Favre did. Brett Favre said, I wanted to play anyone who would play the Packers. Minnesota played him twice. Of course, he went to the Jets 1 year before that, too. But the reason why I say he's not like Brett Favre is because he wants to be like somebody else. Tom Brady. He's always
mm.
wanted. Rodgers has wanted to be Tom Brady so bad. The last 5 or so years, everyone's like Rodgers, Brady, Rodgers, and Brady. Well, one has 7 rings and one has 1 ring. It's hard to compare that. Even if they are the two best in the game, it's not 1A, 1B. It's one Brady, two Rodgers. And that's what it's been. And that's eaten him alive. It's clearly eaten him alive because he couldn't win a Super Bowl with the Packers. That's why he wanted out. He didn't hate any of his teammates there. He maybe had some problems with the GM, but that's about it. He just wanted that. So, no, he's always wanted to be Tom Brady. And what was Tom Brady in Tampa? Tampa Tom. That was Tom Brady in Tampa. And he was the laid back, the old guy. And I think that's what Rodgers wants to be most of all. Of course, he still wants to win, but he wants to be that, the gamer, the all-timer. And that's what Aaron Rodgers is going to be. But Jake, I guess how did you interpret those quotes, I guess? About from
Yeah, I
Zach
mean,
Wilson and then Aaron Rodgers' response.
Zach Wilson is obviously nowhere near talent-wise as Aaron Rodgers is. I don't. I think Aaron Rodgers will make Zach Wilson better. I do believe that. Um, and eventually when Aaron Rodgers retires in either year or so, Zach Wilson will become the Jets quarterback because he's learned under Aaron Rodgers, whether that be for a year or whether that be for 2 years.
Yeah, but that's not what you used to say, though. You used to say Zach Wilson was done, right? Well,
Oh yeah, I used to say that, but my opinion has changed because he's got a veteran quarterback to learn under in Aaron Rodgers, who no one will deny Aaron Rodgers is definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. Um, so my whole opinion on Zach Wilson has changed when Aaron Rodgers came.
yeah, I don't know if because I was never that far on Zach Wilson. I thought he was losing the Jets
Oh
job,
yeah,
but he might have somewhere else an opportunity. I still think that you can't sit behind a better quarterback than Rodgers, especially if he's going to work with him. Usually, a
well,
guy like
maybe
Rodgers,
Tom Brady, but he retired.
yeah, usually a guy like Tom Brady or someone will just say, "Okay, just go sit on the bench, get me water, yada yada." If Aaron Rodgers is actually going to put his money to his mouth and help Zach Wilson, that would be great for Zach Wilson. I personally don't know if Zach Wilson ever had that talent, like the elite talent. I think he can be a starter in the NFL. He clearly hasn't shown that yet. I think he could be a mid-tier quarterback, and that would be great for him because I don't want to see him labeled as a bust because right now he's one of the worst busts of all time. And I'd rather not see that. He's a good kid. He's made good decisions, just not that talented yet. Maybe he can tune some stuff and be an average starter in the league, like a Andy Dalton or something like that. That'd be good. That'd be good.